Hello, welcome to Chrysalis Invictus. We are doing a Gemini season reading for you today. And I had this card kind of mysteriously pop up, and it's from the Forest Fae Oracle. Making a mess of these cards here. And it says, Lady of the Lost, give to others treasure life and all its magic. So I feel like that's an overall energy here, that there's this a level of compassion that's being asked of us in Gemini season. Almost like giving is, you know, when I do a meditation on flow, there's this, whatever you wish to receive, you send out. So you send out love to others in order to receive it. And I feel like you are being asked to give. And feel the magic of giving. So, you know, sometimes we can get into that cycle of understanding how to set boundaries and how we've given maybe too much in certain situations. But this is really a call back into that spirit of giving. And that doesn't mean that you have to give something monetarily necessarily, but just to feel an appreciation for that energy. So let's take a look at generally what's going on in our lives through Gemini season. And I'm using the Muse Tarot today. Okay, so we have the Five of Voices reversed. I'm hearing loud rain on a tin roof. So there are things that are going to things that have been irritating to us, or this almost reminds me of like being on a road trip with a sibling. If you had a sibling and you kind of like pinch each other and annoy each other, and it's just like, let me out of this car. And it feels like there is some of this energy present, but you find your center and you find your place and your peace within it. And it's this source of growth. But this is also like, maybe someone has been taking credit for the work that you've been doing, or there's been something where you felt like you've had to, and this connects back to the Lady of the Lost, where you felt like you've had to store things, you've had to store energy, and you sort of disrupted the flow because someone has taken from you. And this is sort of opening up and being like, you know what, you can have it, and I'm going to do me. And in doing so, you release something. It helps you in some way. 10 of inspiration. Yeah, something that has become too heavy is nearing completion. It's really hard to film here during the day because the corner that I live at is so noisy. Yeah, so from the 10 of inspiration, I feel like the burden that you've been carrying, it's almost like if someone has been copying you or taking credit, or has been irritating you, there's been these little things building up. It's all in relation to something else. It's all in relation to something bigger. And I feel you releasing that through this season. I feel you in Gemini season, letting that go, sharing the burden in some way. Ooh. And temperance, yeah, coming into a sense of balance. But this is a full cycle. So this could be happening at a full moon, or may take you into the next full moon beyond Gemini. It's like you're coming into an illumination of, or not an illumination, a better place with yourself where it doesn't matter what these other people are doing or what this other person is doing. Okay, let's take a look more specifically at career, and then we'll take a look at love. All right, so what's happening in your career or work life in Gemini season? We have the Two of Emotions. Partnerships and duality are really highlighted here, which is no surprise. I mean, Gemini is the sign of the twins, being of two minds. This could really be a great time for you to really evaluate what you want in a partner, or if you do have a partnership, and if this is the situation that's happening here, if there's conflicts or burdens within those partnerships, finding a way to, I'm getting again, it's this flow, this flowing energy. It's interesting too, because the class that I am running on Monday is called Float, and it's all about releasing burdens. Oh yeah, releasing burdens and floating. It's a trip downstream is what I kind of advertised it as. If you're interested in that, the information is down below. The Two of Materials. And the Knight of Inspiration. All right. So there is an imbalance that exists through Gemini season, and it has to do with the ability to move forward with the information that you receive. So there's an emotional current that you're going to be able to tap into. Materially, this may feel like a fairly unstable time. I'm hearing the word junction. Departing from something or someone and a way of life, and taking separate paths. But there's an inability to move forward with the information that you receive. So even if this burden is lifted, and I do feel like it could go beyond Geminis, you know, for some of you it may be the full moon that's coming up, but I do feel like it could be beyond Gemini into the next full moon in June, where we're in Mercury retrograde, so that could be a bit of the holdup as well. How does this connect, these two? The Chariot. Yeah. It's like you find your direction, but you don't yet have the tools to move in that direction, or something isn't freed in this season. But what you're doing is you're deciphering this, you're understanding this, you're understanding your relationship to others, and what you can and cannot give, or what is yours, or this sort of Like if you disrupt flow, if you start to say mine, or if you enter into the spirit of lack, it disrupts not only your giving, but it also disrupts your receiving. So if you're not giving out, then you're not receiving. And so maybe you're meant to let go of some ideas or some things. You're meant to let go of some ideas or some things. Particularly, this feels very career related to me. Even the general energies, this has a lot to do with, how you spend your time and how you earn your money. And you're being asked to choose what hill you die on, I guess, or to decide that, I'm not going to hang on to this thing. I don't have to keep hanging on. I can find, my value is not tied to this specific thing, and know that beyond this season, there will be the opportunity to move forward through this balance. And with the Chariot having decided the path that you are, there's so much duality here. The path that you are, I guess, meant to go down, or the one that feels most aligned to you. Let's take a look at your love situation. So we have the Knight of Materials, a slow-moving energy, a slow-moving current through this time. And it may feel like there's been a period of drought for some of you, a period where you've had to flourish on your own without any kind of I'm just feeling like you're having to be confident in yourself and tell yourself you're pretty and treat yourself the way you would want a partner to treat you, because you're sort of waiting. And I don't know if this is consciously waiting, but you're waiting for something. So if you are in a relationship, this could be waiting for your partner to go through something, for your partner to find some kind of stability or balance within themselves. If you are single, this is waiting for someone to finally make a move. Let's see what else we can know about this. The Nine of Voices. Okay, so this person there's been a lot of anxiety. There's been a lot of lost sleep over this situation in the love situation here. And that could continue through Gemini. With this Knight of Materials not really being able to show up just yet, still sort of in that space of overthinking, overanalyzing. But with this energy of generosity, there is something breaking through. So this could be about being generous with your time, with your energy, but I'm getting that it's about being generous with your patience. So if there's someone that you're waiting on, or if there's someone that's moving slower than you feel comfortable, it's almost like this person likes you, you like them. There's a connection there, but they're taking their sweet time. Or to process something. Again, if you're in a relationship, this is about being generous with your patience. So not trying to rush the process, because I see if you rush the process, there's almost like a panic response, and it will send you backwards and make this a longer wait. Okay. So through this season, your major lessons are coming through the Queen of Voices, which makes sense. This is a Queen of Air. And she's very discerning with the ability to come off as quite cold or calculated to some extent. But maybe looking inward and looking at the features of this Queen of Voices and how you might better embody her light aspects rather than her dark aspects. So if there's a tendency toward defensiveness, so maybe in this situation you're feeling defensive because this person is taking a long time. You're feeling defensive about that. And so when you get defensive and when you put up your sword, it only enhances this Nine of Voices, this anxious pattern of thinking within them. And so being generous with your thoughts as well as with your patience. I want to take a look at what this book says about the Queen of Voices. I'm interested. A truth speaker, an honest and astute leader, wisdom and ability to cut through bullshit, clear vision and clear communication, wit, intelligence, good advice, strategic thinking. The voice of feathers. From the east, a wind picks up and she feels the rustle in her hair as her senses come alive. Her magic is a little more tangible than some of the other queens, and for her proof-seeking perception, she is grateful. She unfolds her wings of wisdom and knowledge and stretches, looking out over her domain. She is the Queen of Voices, and she speaks with an intensity so very direct that it cuts right through to the heart of the matter. Yeah, and this is what I was trying to articulate and kind of why I went to the book, because I feel that your ability to cut to the heart of the matter may be scary for this person that you are thinking of. So either your partner or the person that's coming in for you. And so it's embodying this gentleness. So a soft way of conveying this knowledge, which is not to say that you need to be a doormat or meek or, allow someone to misuse you. But in this situation, is that who this person is? Are they using you, or do they suffer from, anxious thinking and have trouble with moving faster than what they're comfortable with? What else? What other advice can we get for Gemini season? Okay, we have the Four of Emotions. So if you've been bored, if you felt like things are stagnant, I see that the winds of change are coming. There is movement here, but the movement is almost like, how do I want to put this? It's like you tap into the flow, you tap into the current, but it's not necessarily bringing you what you are specifically asking for at this time. Not yet. It's more like you have to be in the flow for a period of time. You have to step into this energy of, being generous with your time, your ideas, your patience, knowing that if someone does steal your ideas, or if someone is sort of taking from you in some way, cutting your losses and knowing and trusting that something else is going to come in. But you have to stay in this current, you have to stay in this river, you have to stay in this space for a period of time before what you are looking for comes in, what you're asking for comes in. Yeah, and the lack here is an illusion that can also has a current that can carry you away. So you have the choice here to stay in a current of lack, of frustration, of impatience, or to or to step into a current of generosity, giving, gratitude, that kind of thing. And I don't even mean that in an airy fairy kind of way. If you've ever been to one of my classes, you'll know I don't really operate in that spiritual bypassing space. This is real and true gratitude that has grit, that has experience, that has life behind it. But that, if you sit and feel that transference from right to left around the circle, that flow, you can begin to trust that whatever you need will come through, just not in the time that you're asking for it. What else? What else do we need to know? I'm so sorry about how noisy it is. Two of voices. Yes, this is like the overall energy I feel of Gemini season. I'm not entirely sure what the relationship is to the Two of Swords and Gemini, but this is a crossroads. And who is the third that walks always with you is the line from, it might be Jail for Proof Rock, I'm not sure, but it's T.S. Eliot for sure. I don't know if it's The Wasteland or The Love Song of Jail for Proof Rock. But anyway, there are two things converging to make a third. But I don't feel like you have a choice in what this third thing is. It's almost like a mystery to be revealed, and it will be shown to you, and you will just naturally move through it if you stay in this space of generosity. Know and trust that you have this magic within you, that you have this knowledge within you, that you have been building toward this and working toward this over time. Like, it's not like you're going to come to this relationship or this job or this situation in your life and not have the tools. You will have the tools for it. Oh. We have two cards that have been flipped over. Okay, so 3 cards coming out now. The Page of Emotions, the 10 of Emotions reversed, and the Page of Inspiration reversed. Again, this is not... there isn't a lot of movement in Gemini season, and this could also be in relation to the Mercury retrograde, in that it's not really a good time to sign contracts or to move forward with things. But I do feel like what's cooking underneath the surface is inspiration, or that it's already there. So this has been done over time. It's like you're not seeking in this season. You're not really seeking. You are making choices. You are deciding a pathway. But the underneath, creative energy is already present as you enter into this time. With the 10 of Emotions, this could feel like a really lopsided or haphazard way of getting to happiness. So getting to happiness and fulfillment may feel like the complete opposite at this time. There's something here about hindsight. So looking back to other times in your life that are very much like this time, and of course they won't be the same because we grow and we change, but other times in your life that were similar to this, and how you look back on that and you think, this was kind of the gift of that time, but seeing if you can come into that awareness now, rather than needing to wait for time to pass. But there's a lot of emotional messages that are going to come in. And you may attract a lot of emotions from others. And this is where that generosity, you're called to step into this energy of generosity. There could be a small gesture with this romantic situation. There could be a small gesture of love, but it's not to push it to its furthest extent. So honor the patience and the time that is needed for this person to feel comfortable moving forward and budging almost. Like, I do feel like they're very... What's the word? They're going to scamper off if you push it too far. Or this could be you. I should have mentioned that. This could be you. So when I'm talking about this other person, that could be your energy, and the other person is needing to be kind of patient with you. And if they're not, just know that that is what you need right now. Okay, so let's get life. We have flamingo, unity hearts. You are being called to work on collective healing. Yeah, and this is that flow again. Like, they're all standing in the same river. So we're all separate beings, but we're all connected by this emotional current of community, of empathy, of compassion, of support. Okay, and for career, we have chameleon, soul tribe. It is safe to be seen. Interesting. Okay, so letting go of whatever this is, this unaligned business situation or partnership or situation where you feel like you're being exploited. You've had to sort of become something that you to blend into the background, but this is sort of calling you out to be yourself and know that you are safe with the right people. And that will give you an idea of who the right people actually are for you in this situation. So if you're looking to collaborate, if you're looking to push forward with some sort of project, although I would say it's not the time right now. There's just sort of the planning would be through this season, but not the implementation. This is really calling you to come out of hiding and show what you are made of. Instead of giving no, it's like you're owning your giving nature, but you're not giving to the wrong people anymore. You're cutting ties with whatever you've already given. So it's sort of like accepting your loss and then coming into this space of feeling comfortable to just give freely. I don't know, I feel like you are meeting someone or just coming into an awareness of a relationship that's already in your life that is important moving forward. Again, not formalizing anything. And for your love life, we have kangaroo, courage. You are being tested, have faith, and stand in your truth. There's that patience. Stand in your truth feels like if you have a tendency to be defensive, if this slow-moving energy makes you panic or you feel, why isn't something happening and that means something, this is about staying where you are and not pushing for more. at this time. Just kind of embracing where you are. We'll get some more from the Sacred Destiny Oracle for Gemini season. What other advice do we have for my viewers? Thank you so much for subscribing, by the way, if you're a subscriber. If not, maybe think of joining. It'd be lovely to have you. New beginnings. This for me, so this is like a new beginning has started. This is like you've booked the trip, but there's still a period of waiting before you go. You already know that things have shifted and adjusted, but there's a waiting period, and there's still some miles to go before you get over this last hurdle. Again, with that 10 of inspiration, where there's still some burdens to release. Embracing. Standing in the flow. And love. Okay, so I see you embracing something about your career or work life, embracing some kind of truth about what is actually going on in that situation. Acknowledging maybe areas where you've been too giving, but to the wrong thing. So like you're called to give, but in what spirit are you giving? So this is like, if you are giving in the spirit of bitterness, that is going to come back to you as bitterness. But if you're giving in the spirit of, like, it's being reminded that I am here because I love to do this. I am here and I am giving because that is what makes me feel good about myself. And if you're not feeling good about yourself in that way, then it will come back to you in a sort of disjointed and unhappy way. And again, we are waiting for the fire. We're waiting for go time. So it's almost like, okay, you're actually going to be waiting until Leo, I feel like, until Leo season for whatever these energies are to really hit the ground running. But you're preparing for it at this time by stepping into the flow, by stepping into the current. And in your love life, we have love. And this for me is standing in that space of love, unconditional love, with this patience and just letting things blossom and bloom without touching them. Everything here is about not forcing, not touching, just kind of staying in this space of acceptance, of flow. And in that flow, you can almost allow different things to exist at once. Different ideas, contradictory ideas can exist at the same time. And I'll get a few more cards and then we'll close out the reading. So this is from the Botanical Inspirations deck. We have peony, prosperity and compassion. Prosperity depends more on wanting what you have than on having what you want. And this is so appropriate because it's like stepping into this flow, this energy of giving and receiving. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but is what propels you forward. It's what brings in this prosperity, but you have to accept what you already have in order to draw in that prosperity. Like, it can't come to you if you're still seeking and striving for it. This is a very silent process. It feels a very quiet process. What do we have for career? Work, Violet. Faithfulness and modesty. Modesty is a shining light that prepares the mind to receive knowledge and the heart for truth. And for love, we have honeysuckle, domestic happiness and devoted affection. I will wind thee in my arms, so doth the woodbine, the honeysuckle, gently entwine. This is really beautiful. So if you do not have if you're single and you don't currently have a romantic interest, know that whoever is coming in for you is already in your energy through this season. And be generous with your heart and your love toward them. So even if you don't know who they are, sending that love out into the world, into the universe, knowing that they're there and that they are coming toward you, and that this is a really sweet and beautiful love. This domestic happiness comes from staying in this space of love, unconditional love. This is not a time to push for change in your relationship. This is not a time to push at all. This is a time to sit within and observe. There will be inevitably like analysis, but also be aware of, the Mercury retrograde energies where it can be hard to know what is true. And so because of that, when a truth comes in, sit with it first before you consider it true and see how the energies play out. Give it time. All right, I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining. If you'd like to book a personal reading, my information is in the description box below, as well as links to my yoga and meditation classes. Take care.